Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm going to be brief, and I'm only going to speak to the entire package once. This is a group of bills that have been worked on by a tremendous number of stakeholders, local communities, the legislature, members from the community at large, the governor's office, the lieutenant governor's office have put in an inordinate amount of time and energy to make sure that several of the concerns we had about replacement of personal property tax revenue in the state would be adequately refunded to the local communities who were losing the revenue. I'm very pleased to say that some of the constitutional questions that were running rampant with the first set of bills that were passed in 2012 have been removed from this current package of bills, and the bill package as a whole is much improved. I still have reservations, however, although I am going to vote in support of the majority of the bills, with the exception of the ballot questions, which I believe are problematic due to the fact that they do not let the Secretary of State's office actually draft the language, which I think is a major mistake that we are embarking on. But when it comes to these package of bills, the concern I had about a metropolitan area authority.
Colleagues, we have a member speaking. The Speaker recognizes Representative Barnett.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The questions I had about the constitutionality of an authority levying a millage rate or a part of a use tax on its own without going through these several steps has been addressed. The concern I had about local governments themselves having to institute an emergency assessment, special assessment tax, contrary to the opinions of the Supreme Court on numerous occasions, have been addressed. So what we're left with is a change in how we calculate the personal property taxes of communities that are losing the revenue, of school districts that will be losing the revenue, and accommodating those concerns by having the personal property taxes that will be missed calculated on an annual basis and submitted to the state. I'm very pleased with the direction we're going. However, I still think it would be simpler, more fair, and incredibly more efficient to draft the language constitutionally in the Constitution with some enacting legislation that could make the formula more fair over time and avoid a duplicative form of government in the executive branch that will be composed of 5 gubernatorial appointees, their attorneys, the rental space, the legal counsel, the purchases, the open meetings that will have to be staffed and noticed, and all of the costs related to running a new commission in the state of Michigan that's going to divert tax dollars sorely needed to fix our roads and to educate our children and indeed to protect our cattle from bovine TB, and instead directed to these private individuals who will be appointed by the governor to serve for 6-year terms in a shadow government housed in the executive branch. That part I'm not too nuts about. But all in all, we've come a long way. The votes are there, and the personal property tax is an onerous one on our businesses and have left many companies that want to upgrade their equipment and be much more efficient, both in terms of production and in terms of energy efficiency. They've been prevented from doing so under our current law. So as I said, I stand here in support of the majority of the bills in this package, and personally want to thank all of those involved in drafting the legislation to get it to the point where it will truly benefit business and our local communities and our public schools. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of Senate Bill 821, there are 107 aye votes and 2 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed.